And welcome back, everybody. Hey, our next guest is an executive producer and publicist for New York City Live at Fashion Week Fall and Winter 2023 Fashion Showcase. He's here with us to speak about the upcoming fashion showcase and highlight some of the work that he is doing with his company, Xpozure Modeling. It's a big company and he's doing wonderful things. Please welcome to the show, William Michael Reid. William, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You've been doing your thing. We've been coming down. You know what? I've been watching you while we were doing Harlem Week, and I would always look off to the side, and you were inside of these fashion shows that we were doing.
Yes, sir.
You were like, right on it, making sure that you wanted to get what you needed to get out of it. So when you put yours on, you can add a little bit of that, and from everything that you've been through.
Yes, sir.
To and been through. Tell us how you got started. I don't know, you were in the service.
Yeah.
And from service, you got into architecture.
Actually, I started out basically just being a production assistant. So that I got into fashion pretty much by being a production assistant.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to do is therefore build somewhat of a company that therefore would employ things that had to do with either film or television or radio or film, television, radio, music, comedy, and even sports. I started out in Los Angeles back in 1993 with my company, Xpozure Entertainment Incorporated, and over a period of years, I wanted to therefore parlay anything that I'd learned from the film, television, radio, theater, sports, comedy, and music, and therefore kind of mix it all in together and therefore build a company from that part all the way up to where we are now.
Yeah, and you can't forget about the disciplinary actions from the military.
Well, one of the things I've learned from that aspect is trying to therefore be structured, have things pretty much in place, have a plan, strategy, and therefore be able to execute on, basically on call, basically.
Yeah. And we see some wonderful people at your fashion shows, Cam Newton and a lot of other celebrities. What inspired you to create Xpozure Entertainment Incorporated? And how did the modeling company come about?
A very interesting question. I was living in Los Angeles, this is back in the early 90s, and one of my best friends at the time, Robert Merrill, both he and I, we used to work together at Federal Express, and I would hang out with him in all parts of LA, from Santa Monica to the Valley to downtown LA. We would go to all kind of events, working with Magic Johnson with the Midsummer Night's Classic, to working with Al Heyman of Anheuser-Busch, Budweiser, Superfest. And from those moments in working in the music side to therefore working on the comedy side with Chris Tucker and, those kind of guys back then, I said, you know what, I want to therefore kind of add my New York flavor to what I was learning about on the West Coast and therefore try to make it more of a national brand. So I started Xpozure Entertainment back in July of '93. Started out by doing comedy tours, music tours, working with sporting events with the Super Bowl, the NBA All-Star Weekend, and even in 2004, the Olympics over in Athens, Greece.
Woo!
Yeah.
So now we have this big fashion week. Fashion week is starting
this week on Thursday. Yes.
And on the 15th, you're going to have the big one downtown.
We're going to close it out in style. Close it out in style. Yeah, that's the goal.
Who are some of the people that are going to be there?
Well, we have 14 designers currently. We have designers from Bangladesh. We have another designer from Ireland, but she's based in Portland, Oregon, who's actually opening up the show. We have designers from Miami, DC, Los Angeles, who are returning from this past season in September. And we have some newcomers from Brooklyn, New York, from Houston, Texas, and also from Buffalo, and also from Connecticut.
Yeah. And so it's going to be really, really, really nice. When does it start? What time does it start?
We have two show times. We have a 6:30. We also have an 8 o'clock show. So we have two shows with an intermission in between.
Yeah, that's beautiful, beautiful. All right. And you always have something happening before. We're going to go on live on the internet?
Yes, we do start our Facebook Live broadcast at 4 p.m. Eastern. Something we had started during the course of the pandemic, no less, back in September of 2020, and it served very well. We did an outdoor event out in Huntington, Long Island, and we had our Facebook Live broadcast start around 4:30, and it ran all the way up to the beginning of the show at 6:30. So those 2 hours was nothing but content with respect to interviewing producers, interviewing the fashion designers, interviewing some of the other guests that were in attendance, interviewing the makeup and the hair team. So we had a lot of content within those 2 hours as a run up to the start of the show at 6:30, and then we broadcast the show live. And we only had 3 designers. Then back in September 2020. For this time, we're also going to add a little bit more to it. A lot of surprises within those 2 hours for a run up to the show from 4 until 6. And in that last half hour between 6 and 6:30, we're going to therefore come out with some real surprises.
Uh-oh.
Maybe even, in fact, incorporate you into that surprise, but we'll work on that.
Uh-oh, watch out.
Yeah.
And where is it?
It's at the Mezzanine, located at 55 Broadway, right off of Wall Street in Lower Manhattan in the financial district.
Down there by that bull.
Yeah, right up the street, about a block away.
Yeah, about a block away.
Yeah.
All right, who are some of the fashion designers? You already mentioned them. Did we miss anybody?
I can tell you a rundown real quickly.
Okay.
We have Judith Noonan of Velvet Zephyr Designs out of Portland, Oregon. We have Sarah Rodriguez of Sarah Landry Designs out of Connecticut. We have Fash Valletta. I'm just going to give you the names of the actual designers. Sure. We have Judy Noonan out of Portland. We have Sarah Rodriguez out of Groton, Connecticut. We have Valletta Copa Phillips out of Houston, Texas. We have Shakar Rahati out of Hollywood, California. Luxury, we have Ray Walker out of Brooklyn. We have Alvey Alexander out of Houston. Ava, who's returning from Miami, Ava Stringfellow. We have another gentleman who's working with us. He actually has a boutique who's actually going to outfit you. His name is John Naftali of Panzai Boutique, located in Midtown Manhattan.
Oh, okay.
And we also have some other folks who are joining us for the first time, Vincent Wooldridge out of Houston. And we have a designer from Bangladesh.
Oh, all right.
Who actually is going to therefore be closing our first show. So we have a host of others, but 14 designers in total. I hope I didn't leave anybody out. Oh, and also we have a young lady from South Carolina, Vaughn Perez, who's originally from Brooklyn, but she's based in South Carolina. So that's pretty much our lineup.
Anybody in your staff you want to give a shout out to?
Definitely want to give a shout out to my executive team, Haven Jimerson, Crystal Jones, Midori Ame, James Goodwin, DJ Unique, Joe Clark, and Sharon Lehman, and Willie Hall.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So we're all going to meet up on the 15th.
Yes, sir.
The date, give us the whole thing, the date, the address, and everything all in one package.
Yes, NYC Live at Fashion Week Fall and Winter 2023, Season 15, Wednesday, February 15th, live at the Mezzanine, located at 55 Broadway, right off of Wall Street, New York, New York, 10006.
And we get a lot of information over the internet. And you know, you have your social media, and you have the websites, you have everything, YouTube.
Yes, all of my social media accounts are the same. It's at WMMICHAELREID, which is my abbreviated name, William Michael Reid. Our official website is www.nyclive@fashionweek.com.
There you go. Sounds good. And what can people take away after they see this show, this fantastic show?
Well, we always try to keep our show, Bob, on a global scale, international. We incorporate designers who are therefore domestic, but also on a global platform as well, because we try to keep it international. This past season in September of 2022, we had designers from Paris, from Jakarta, Indonesia. Over the years, we've had designers from other parts of the Caribbean, South America, the Far East, the Middle East, Europe, and even the South Pacific. So one of the things we always want to do is always have that international flavor in addition to domestic, and of course, keeping it always high fashion.
There you go. And I'm loving it. And we're all going to have a great time there.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, so if you want to come on down, you can come down on the 15th, or you can go to the website.
You can actually watch the show live. If you aren't able to, therefore, attend the show live in person, we have it set up where you can actually watch the show on YouTube, courtesy of Runway News, Joe Clark. We also have the links on our official website, www.nyclive@fashionweek.com. And we have the show set up for 6:30 and 8 p.m. broadcast, 6:30 p.m. Eastern and 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time.
And you usually do 2 shows per year, right? There's one here in New York and one in San Francisco?
No, the New York shows, we actually do our shows twice a year in New York City, February, September. In previous years, we've done the Super Bowl weekends and also the NBA All-Star weekends. The last NBA All-Star weekend we held was in 2018, February in Los Angeles. And we also held an event during the Super Bowl weekend in January of 2020 in Miami. We've taken a break since then of doing our Fashion Week events in Miami. We would normally do Miami Swim Week in July. We haven't done a swim week in July since 2019, but we look to return to South Beach this coming summer.
Oh, watch out,
and
watch
for the next
out.
Super Bowl weekend, we will be in Las Vegas in February of 2024. And the NBA All-Star Weekend, which has yet to be announced for the host city of 2024, we're looking to get back on the road outside of New York and doing both New York, Miami, the NFL host city, the NBA host city, and a surprise, we're looking to do Paris in the summer of 2024 for the Olympic Games.
Wow, that's a lot, you know. And we see you throwing all this stuff together. You still hold a full-time job, right?
Yes, I work a regular corporate America job. I work at Bank of New York Mellon, right across from World Trade Center. I've been in banking, finance, advertising for over 25, almost 30 years. One of the things I've always wanted to do is therefore build a company from the ground up, still maintain employment,
Yeah.
but also therefore set myself up for at some point retiring and also passing the torch of, or passing the baton of our show to those who could therefore pay it forward. So I have 6 producers
Yeah.
underneath me for which I've been kind of training or therefore preparing over the course of the last few years to therefore take over the show and therefore pay it forward and therefore bring it to the next level.
Yeah.
We're 8 years in, 14 seasons in. This is our 15th season, and I'm looking forward to anything that may be on the horizon for us.
I was going to ask you how you do it, but you know, when you're passionate about something, when you love something, you
Yes, sir.
make it all work.
Yes, sir.
It all comes together.
Yeah.
It all comes together.
Yeah, I have a great team, and my team basically helps me do what I do. I know they're very excited about what we have coming up over the next 9 days, and with you being a part of it for all these many seasons, and anybody else for whom has been part of my fashion family,
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to having many people, whether those who are returning and also newcomers in attendance, because that's only going to continue
Yeah.
to help the show grow.
We're just a couple of days away. What are some of the things that we're working on to keep it tight and keep it, you know, to prepare for it?
Well,
Because a lot of
our-
people think that, you know, we're just going to go ahead and put on a show, but they don't see all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
Well, one of the things we were able to accomplish this past Wednesday, February 1st, we finally were able to make it officially onto the Fashion Week calendar. It's called
All right.
Fashion Week Online.
Yeah.
So that's a major accomplishment. Thanks to our executive team for therefore putting that together. We're now on the Fashion Week Online calendar. If you go to fashionweekonline.com, you'll see the calendar. You just basically pull up the date, February 15th, and there we are right there on the calendar. You know, NYC Live and Fashion Week Fall Winter 2023, Season 15. It goes straight to the actual flyer and also takes you to the website. It gives you a list of who the designers are that are going to be participating. With that, and also having had models and agents and managers still
Yeah.
try to get into the show,
Yeah.
we have over 100 models already. I think about 104 and counting. We just held our casting back on January 14th, but still people are learning about the show through the grapevine. And our tagline is closing out New York Fashion Week in style.
Closing out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You
Very
don't have to go
welcome.
any further than
I look
that.
forward to having you
There
there
you
with
go.
us.
And we'd love to. We'll see you on the 15th. William Michael Reid, executive producer and publicist, New York City Live at Fashion Week. Thank you, man. Thanks for stopping by,
You're
all right?
welcome. Thank you
And
for
we'll see
having
you
me.
over there. You got it.
Indeed.
Okay. All right, we'll take a quick break. I've got a whole lot more. We're wide open right here on Open.